Hey everyone, so I actually want to show you inside of the course so you know exactly what you're going to get once you become a member. So right now you're here on the home page. Once you go ahead and check out, you're going to go to your dashboard. So once you check out, you'll actually be directed to this page right here. And on the dashboard is where, at the bottom here is where we put new content that's being added to the course. So most recently we added Landscape Summit 2020, the full recordings of that. So full 3 days, I think it's like 20 plus hours of video content from those 3 days at the conference. And then recently we just added the pay for performance. And so this is where new content, new video training is going to be posted. But if you go to all courses, you're going to see there's two different kind of course tracks. Again, listen to the video at the very top of the homepage, determine kind of which one you want to start with. But let's assume you're just starting brand new in your business. You're going to go to the basics course. So in the basics course is the bulk of the training videos in terms of number. So you got everywhere from kind of my introduction, talking about my businesses and what we've been doing. We talk about the 36-month roadmap because the whole goal with this course is to get you from 0 to 100,000 in monthly revenue within 36 months. So we talk about that 36-month roadmap and you start plotting your course along that 3-year journey. Then we talk about licensing and the legal stuff, and so setting up an LLC, or do you go sole proprietor, all of those sort of things, and just talk about the grind of owning your own business and switching out of that employee mentality. In lesson 4 here, we go into the $15,000 budget. We go over your trucks and what equipment you should buy, and again, really looking at that lean model that we encourage our franchisees at Augusta Lawn Care to use, which is you don't need 5 trucks to get started unless you have a lot of money to burn. If you have $15,000, you can do exactly what we talk about here in the course. So we walk through exactly where I spent that money in terms of advertising, trucks, etc. We talk about your name, your logo, your website, your uniform, and if you are part of this, you can actually become part of lawncarewebdesign.com, which could do your website for you. But regardless, we talk about some of the elements that we use at Lawn Care Web Design in terms of making your website, making sure your business name, like what you should and should not do. This is all included here. Then we talk about side hustle, part-time business owner, which is usually going to be you for the first year. If you're just starting your business and you don't have a lot of money to invest in kind of the burn in that first year, you're going to probably have a part-time, other job that you're doing on the side. And so how do you handle that? How do you grow the business while you're doing that? We talk about an introduction to Lawn Pro, which you have an option to buy as part of the course, and you get a reduction, a discount if you buy it through Landscape Business Course. Then we talk about truck selection, your trailer setup, your equipment, your truck branding, the decals on the side of your truck. Should you paint your trucks? All of those things is included in that part. We talk about your hourly rate, which is kind of like your secret sauce, the same way that a chef kind of makes up their sauce in the back, and it's kind of the secret sauce. The same thing is for your hourly rate. Something you don't really tell your customer, you don't advertise your hourly rate to your customers, but it's definitely the secret sauce that kind of holds your business together financially. We talk about how to estimate mowing services, how to estimate landscaping services, and you'll see if you open up any of these modules, if you open up one of these, what's going to happen is there's an article that's going to actually walk through a lot of different things about that topic. And then at the bottom, you're going to have an entire training video on that module. All right? So that's kind of the breakdown of each one of these videos. I'm just kind of quickly glancing over it. But each one of these, when you click on it, you have an article. If you like reading, if you like highlighting, if printing those things off, or you can watch the video form of the content. You got technology, how to set up recurring service. Again, Lawn Pro is the example that we used, especially because this is for the basics course. This is for someone just getting started. Lawn Pro is very, very simple and very cost effective. So we talk a little bit about that throughout the course, different uses of Lawn Pro. We talk about email marketing, how to use MailChimp, Every Door Direct Mail, and print marketing. Every Door Direct Mail is the program used through the USPS where you can send a piece of mail to a client for 17 to 18 cents per house instead of 50 cents per stamp like it usually would be. Talk about we actually use the tool, show you how to actually look at each demographic, each neighborhood and mail route to determine which ones you want to target. Online marketing and website layout. We talk about door to door, if you're actually knock on doors or do cold calling, which again we have scripts for that, the cold calling in the documents and template section. We We talk about Facebook advertising and using targeting and pixels. We talk about scheduling, invoicing, billing, interpreting your profit and loss statement, how that profit and loss statement tells a story. We talk about how to find, contract, and compensate employees. Again, that is relayed with that 32-page handbook that we actually offer you as a template, which you can use and edit in the documents and template section. We talk about owner's salary and your job title and the 4 distinct categories that you're going to move in as you run your business. Everywhere from the field worker to the office manager to the estimator to being the CEO. And when you start moving in that CEO role, that's when you really start thinking about P4P, which is the second part of the course. Leadership and creating a team, we talk about that. Having team meetings, we talk about technology and On the Clock, which is a software we use for clocking in and out. Why retail? So this is like the last part of the course, which is really about adding a retail segment in terms of bulk materials, because a lot of people, as they grow their business, they like to add soil or mulch or gravel, and how do you do the operations and the marketing and use that to cross-pollinate and cross-promote with your service side of your business, how to price those and where to get your products and supply chain. These are all things that we talk about in the basics course as well. What's next is really like what's after that first 3 years? What's it look like after 3 years of learning all this content and getting past 100,000 in monthly revenue? What's next? Can you add services? Can you add satellite locations? We talk about commercial contracts. We talk about standardized pricing in a live call with one of the students, hiring processes, just a whole bunch of content here that you can learn from. The monthly email newsletter, I actually show you, I think it's like 10 or 12 different monthly newsletters and how we use that to keep our clients and our leads warm, regardless of whether or not we're doing business with them. Because down the road, those contacts, those leads that we've received, regardless of whether or not we've done work for them, become a massive lead generation source where you can continually farm your database of customers. We actually do some real world estimates, actually show you out in the field with some video. I tour you around in a really detailed, I think it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours of our local shop. And then we do a couple webinars. This is the templates and documents section. Webinar is about, and like the summit, the different conferences that we do, all that's recorded. But like in the templates and documents section here real quick, let's show you some of this information. You can see here an example of our retail products pricing. This is that 32-page handbook for templates for your employees when they're coming on board. So for example, if we open this bad boy up, get a link to it, you're going to see here that this is a document that you can use. You can actually insert the company name, your information, and make it your own. But this document actually has exactly what you're going to need for all the different elements of your business. Like talks about how your smoking policy, terms of employment, how to, laying off, pay and promotion, how to do that, the 90-day introduction period. All of these things are really, really important, especially as you grow, to talk about like leave without pay and what happens if someone doesn't have their uniform, or if they, personal improvement program that we have, your performance reviews. All of this is editable, and you can change these things. And this is the parts that are yellow are parts that you can change. The white parts are parts that are usually federally regulated. Obviously, we want you to look over this with your local labor association, whether it be L&I or a different labor group. But this is a really, really good place to start. And this is just one example of the different templates you can go over. There's a safety manual. There's a management seminar we have that's audio only, so if you can listen while you're working. Customer intro packets, cold calling scripts, just a whole bunch of stuff in terms of postcards and flyers and door hangers, examples that you can kind of bounce some ideas off of. So that's really the first part of the course, is the basics course. Now let's go to the P4P, most recent addition to the course, which is going to be really once you've developed a lot of the elements in the basics course. Once you've mastered those and you're really beginning to scale up the business, that's when you're going to start thinking about P4P. Not a bad idea to watch this earlier in the business cycle when you're just growing, but definitely you have to start implementing this as you grow. So we have an introduction to P4P. We talk about the things that you need to do before you actually try to implement P4P. Things like getting your budgeted hours correct, having a certain amount of route density, all the things that you need to do to make sure you don't get a bunch of mad employees when you implement P4P. we go over the 2-page document. It's a very simple document that allows you to implement P4P and is what you give to your employees because it's very, very basic. One side is how they make money, the other side is how they lose money on P4P. Very, very simple. The balance between quality and quantity is very important when it comes to production-based performance pay systems. So you don't want people going so fast that they have poor quality and callbacks and all the rest of it. We talk about using P4Psystem.com, which is actually, here I'll show you this example here. This is P4Psystem.com once you've gained access. And it just shows you the simplicity of running P4P. And it's just a very step-by-step process to determine every single day, how much dollars that your employees are going to make. And again, we walked you through this on the course, how to use this, but it walks you through all the steps that you need to have in order to create a P4P system, manual adjustments, and it tells you exactly what this person's breakdown was for this day. I just threw numbers, but it's the system, the software is what's included with the course. And in the videos here, we talk and actually do the training on how to use that software system for mowing, as well as for the projects. Then we go on to actually share our Excel document that we use to give you with P4Psystem.com. You need to actually track day by day where the money is going. And so we have a download and you can make it your own, but we show you exactly how to use that. Then we talk about the transition to P4P. And that's a big change. If you're switching from hourly to P4P, how do you actually tell your team about it? How do you actually have the implementation period? Do you test it? Do you vote on it? Or do you just implement it? How do you make the change from hourly to P4P? And we walk you through that transition. And then this FAQ part is something that we're going to constantly be adding to in terms of P4P and the different scenarios you're going to encounter, whether it be 12-month contracts or if drive time is added, just a whole bunch of different things that you might encounter when you're in P4P, how you can make it work for your company, and the questions that you're going to have because it's a completely different system. It's totally different than hourly. So that's kind of, in a nutshell, everything inside the course. You got your basics package as well as your P4P package. P4P is going to be for those larger companies. You might get this entire course just for that part and access to the software, or you might be just starting out and you want to do basics first. Either way, I really think it's going to really help your business and make it more systematized as you begin to grow. Thank you so much.